Hello everybody, it is Anthony here from Nash Tech, and in this video I'll be doing a installation guide slash tutorial on how to replace the A board on your Panasonic Plasma screen. So what you might be experiencing on your screen is bars going across the screen, whether they be horizontal or vertical, and they might be different colors. Mine happen to be green and a reddish color, like a light green, almost blue to a red. So you might be experiencing something like this. This is when it's just a black screen, so you can see it very prominently. And the main cause of this is overheating, and that means using your TV too much. So what you're gonna have to do is replace the A board. And what we're gonna do now is take the TV off the mount or your stand, whatever, unplug everything, HDMI's, power, all that stuff, and you're gonna want to unplug it all. You're gonna take it down, or if you can even access it from where it was previously stationed, but I recommend taking it down and putting it somewhere where you got a lot of light. And this is the brand new A board. It goes in that bottom corner of your screen. You'll see, if you're looking at it straight like this way, it's in the right corner down there. You got tons of screws going down the whole thing. There's probably 20, 30 screws on the back of this thing. You have to undo all of them. I am not going to bore you with the process of unscrewing every single one, but there are a lot. So you got to get that prepped, and they'll be, most of them have a code next to them, so you can easily recognize them. You can throw them all in one giant container, and you don't have to worry about mixing them up too much, as long as you remember where a couple of main ones go. And so, like, I have my little container here just holding all of my back screws in, and there's probably four across the top, four down the sides, four on the bottom. On the actual back, there's about like eight. Over by the analog and HDMI cables, there's probably another eight or nine. There's quite a few, so be prepared for a lot of unscrewing on the back. And once you have them all off, you will easily be able to pop the back metal off. If you can't get the metal off, that means you're still missing a screw somewhere. So now we have the metal off. We can see all the boards on the back here, and the A board is that bottom one that I'm poking at right here. That is the A board, and that is what we are going to be replacing. As you can see, it's got a bunch of different connectors going into it for maybe audio, visuals, all that kind of stuff, and signals. And there's screws all across the back here. We got six screws on the board. You'll have to unscrew those. Seven, actually, if you count an outer screw, but I'll get to that in a sec. So these top ones are pretty easy to get off. You just pop them off by pinching the front and the back where the connector is. They're real easy to get off, like so. You just pinch it, and it should slide right out. Pretty simple. So now we have these ribbons here. These ribbons are pretty easy to take out. They're probably the easiest on this whole project here. You just pop this flap up here and you just slide them on out. Real simple, real easy process. That's it for those ribbons. Good to go. Now on the bottom here we have some audio stuff and some other connectors. We just unplug this one. This is probably the hardest connector right here. This one you have to kind of give it a little wiggle. Don't be too rough on it. You don't want to break it. Now we need to unscrew the board. As you can see in the upper left hand portion, we have one screw. You'll just easily want to unscrew that. Try to not strip these. Be careful with them. Now you have in the upper right, you have one screw. The upper right and the bottom right are kind of a pain ones. This one down here is a little bit of a pain. It's in a weird spot. But now we have one right below a ribbon, and then we also have one in the center of the board. So that's a total of six on the board there. And we also have one on the outer side by the HDMI 3 slot. So the HDMI 3 one's a little smaller than the board ones. So now the board should easily just pop off with a little bit of wiggle. If you maybe want to push off of the metal, it kind of sits in there. So that's easy to get out now. We have that old board. Now we want to slide in the new board. We have this brand new shiny board. It looks almost identical to you on the screen, but it is a nice brand new board. And we just want to slide that in. It might be a little hard to wiggle it in at first, and you got to make sure that on the upper and bottom portions on the right, the black part is on the outside so you can screw them in. Now we just want to push all of the prongs back in after screwing everything in. I didn't want to bore you guys with all the tedious processes. I'm pretty sure you guys can screw the things back in to where their initial points were. Now putting these ribbons back in is a breeze, as well as putting those top connectors back in. These ones you just want to slide them in, and then you push the clamp down once it's all the way locked in. There's little hinges on the sides of the ribbons so that you'll know when they kind of get into place, and they're pretty darn easy to put in. You just slide them right on in, and they kind of sit right in there, and you just slide that connector down. Now these bottom ones down here easily just go right back in, easier than they were to take out. So that one just you clip right back in, and the bottom audio one just slides right in as well. Very simple process to replace these connectors on the board. Pretty simple, just giving it a little extra push to make sure it's properly connected. You don't want to have to keep doing these over and over in case you didn't push one in all the way. Now I'm going to double check. Like I said, you want to make sure that everything's properly connected, fit perfectly. I'm just double checking everything so that we save time later on. There you go. That's a double check. And we powered it back on, and you can see there is no bar going across the screen. That is fantastic. There is on the video, though, rolling bars, but that is standard with most TVs in the recording mode. So there you guys go. That is how you fix the A board and or these line issues on your Panasonic Plasma. You got to find the correct board for your TV. Some TVs are slightly different boards, and you can see now that we have it working. Go put that backing on, but be careful. It is very sharp.
Oh, oh, oh. I kind of thought that.
Yeah, good.
Yep, I kind of knew that was going to come.
Hold the thing.
Where? Gross.
So yeah, be careful. The back is pretty sharp around the edges. I was carrying it and it just slid right down. Gave me a pretty nice cut on my finger. So now, being a little more careful, the second time I'm going to slide this back in. How you want to do this is you want to kind of lay it down all the way on the ground, and then you kind of want to push it up towards the top, and it will kind of just nest right in there. And it might help if you have another person giving you a hand to hold it while you're trying to put those first few screws back in. But I did it fairly well by myself. And then you want to check down here by the components, make sure they're all pretty close to being fully in. Once you screw them in, though, they'll be more prominent and they'll stick out more. But you want to make sure they're all in the right spots and everything's good to go. So once everything's good to go, you just want to screw all the stuff back in, and you are set. You are done. You fixed your TV. Instead of paying $400 for a repair person to fix it, you just spent probably $75 on the board, and you did it yourself in 30 minutes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, likes and favorites and all that good stuff is always appreciated. If you have any questions about your process of doing this, please leave a comment below. I will try to reply to your comment as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can either PM me or just leave them in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.